Hey everybody, it's me, Crazy Frankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my Week 9 4 key game picks. Let's see, talking a little bit from Week 8 here. Probably the only headlines going out of last week was probably talk a little bit about dominance here. 49ers, as expected, they beat the Cardinals. And pretty much they've taken total command of the NFC West now, so I don't expect much now. I mean, the 49ers pretty much are going to run away with the division as expected. Arizona had their shot to try to pull off an upset, but they didn't really have enough. I mean, I saw highlights of the game, and not much really went on in that game. They only scored 3 points. Boy, they just got totally dominated at home. Big revenge from the New York Giants as they beat the Cowboys last week. Oh, but it was a much closer game than I anticipated. I mean, if you saw that game in the first half, I mean, when the Giants went up 23-0, I think, yeah, I thought this game was long over. I mean, the Cowboys were just playing terribly. The turnovers were killing them, and the Cowboys made a game of it in the second half, and that to me was a total surprise. I didn't really expect that. But it came down to the fourth quarter. Tony Romo couldn't get the Cowboys into the end zone, and the Giants ended up holding on for the win. Denver all over New Orleans. I mean, I did pick the Saints in that one, but I got to give credit to Peyton Manning. He's starting to get back. He's starting to get to form, starting to get the chemistry going for that Bronco team. They're pretty much well ahead in the AFC West now. My Chargers pretty much have choked this division away now. They're playing horribly. I'm very disappointed in them, and I just don't know I mean, this team is not the same. And so if I look at it now, Denver pretty much may have clinched the division right there. But, I mean, look, the Chargers are only still 1 or 2. They're only about 2 games back, I think. Yeah, 2 games. Even though their record is really 3-4. But, really, I mean, I don't know what to expect. I mean, the AFC right now is pretty much a mystery and an enigma. I mean, you could try to pinpoint who do you think would be a favorite in that conference. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, if I looked at it now, I mean, pretty much people would say, well, the Patriots are still, or should be considered still the favorites. I mean, I still think they are. The AFC conference is really a mystery right now. But if you go to the NFC, boy, I could pick out a couple of teams right now that are probably favorites to reach the Super Bowl. I mean, of course, the 49ers are one of them. The Giants are another. The Falcons are another. I'm not even going to go into that Falcon game because really the Eagles right now, they're struggling as well. And from what I heard, Michael Vick is still going to be the quarterback. Well, really, in all honesty, what else do the Eagles have? I mean, they only have rookie quarterbacks. I mean, you got to go with Vick. What else can you do? That's pretty much all that is to it from Week 8. There really wasn't a lot of news going on, except maybe just probably the only big story really was the Giants winning again and getting revenge on the Cowboys. This probably was the only biggest headline from last week. So, without further ado, let's get into Week 9, shall we? Week 9 is going to be exactly like Week 8. It's going to be a little bit. It's not much games to look forward to. A lot of these games this weekend pretty predictable. But I got to make picks, don't I? And some of these games, they could be trap games. You never know. Anyways, my first key game is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Giants. From what I heard, this game is still going to happen at the Meadowlands. I know a lot of people probably don't want to think too much about any sports or anything right now after everything that's happened in the East Coast right now. Before I talk a little bit more about that, I want to give my heart and to everybody out there in the East Coast. Hopefully you guys are okay. I know I've pretty much seen the news and everything that's going on right now. So everybody in the eastern half of the United States, we're thinking of you. And be safe. Anyways, back to football. Steelers getting their second straight win. They're pretty much still alive in the AFC North division, but they're still a little bit behind. The Ravens are still a much better team than they are, but they got the Giants this week. This is a tough game for them. The Giants are on a roll, and this is where the Steelers pretty much need to make their season is going to be in this game. But will it be this game to really say that I'm going to pick them to win? No. The Giants are just playing fantastic football. But if they get into trouble like what they did with the Cowboys last week and start letting the lead shrink, then the advantage could go easily to Pittsburgh here. But I just think the Giants are a much more complete team. Pittsburgh, injuries are a problem. Injuries are a problem right now. I don't know when Palomalu will be back at safety. I mean, really, he's really the key factor in their defense right now. Without him, their defense really isn't squat. But you got to go with the Giants here. The Giants are so much of a complete team, and it'll bring a lot of positivity to all those in East Coast, and pretty much it'll bring something positive. This will be a win for the Giants. Will it be an easy win for them? No. It'll be a close game, but I think the Giants pull it out here. Second key game, the Dallas Cowboys at the Atlanta Falcons. Why did I pick this one? There really isn't a lot of games, really, that matchups that seem intriguing, but this one looks pretty intriguing. Even though by Las Vegas standards, the Falcons are pretty much a heavy favorite in this one. But you never know. I mean, if the Cowboys can get on a groove here, I mean, they did very well against the Ravens when everybody picked the Ravens to win easily, and look what happened. It ended up becoming a close game. Will this one be a close game? It might. But the Cowboys has got to get it together here. If they can't get on a groove, the Falcons' offense and defense, they're just going to tear them apart in this one. And the game is in Atlanta. I really don't have much confidence. If you're a Cowboy fan, you really don't have that much confidence right now with the way the Cowboys are playing. Falcons are pretty complete. They are in the top 5 NFL teams right now this year. They're pretty much going to stay undefeated here. I got to go with the Falcons in this one. Falcons over the Cowboys. Key game number 3. This really isn't much of a key game. I would consider this more of maybe a football game maybe worth watching here. Even though I really wouldn't say this should be a key game, but hey, all these videos are key games, so I got to go along with the title. Technically, in all honesty, this is not a key game here. It's the Eagles and Saints game. Now, both teams obviously desperately need a win to try to keep any hope of their playoffs, any hope of their playoff contention alive here. I mean, the Eagles right now, they're 3-4, and the Saints are 3-5. And in all honesty, I mean, both these teams need to win. I mean, this is probably not a game, maybe. I mean, it is a Sunday night game, so as I was saying earlier in this post, Vic's still going to be the quarterback, but really, their offense and defense is a mess. And I'm just really, really, really upset. I just don't know what to say about this Eagle team. They're not that good. The Saints are pretty much a little bit better, even though the record really doesn't speak for it. But you got to go with the Saints in this one here. Saints pretty much, I mean, well, they're still, I mean, their playoff hopes, this is their last chance to even get anything going here. I mean, they're far behind in the playoff picture. I mean, I know right now, remember, we're at the halfway point of the regular season now. So really, I mean, this really isn't a game even, I don't know if anybody's going to watch this one or not, but I got to go with the Saints here. The Saints should pretty much, look, I like the Eagles as a fan, but the Saints offense and defense are a little bit better. So you got to go with the Saints in this one here. You got to go with Saints over the Eagles. Fourth key game, and everybody knows it's an upset pick here. This really isn't much of an upset. I really don't want to say that because both teams are not playing that well. I mean, well, look, the Vikings are. It's the Seahawks and the Vikings game here. This game is in Seattle though, and it is tough to play in that place. The Vikings right now, they have 2 losses right now, so. You're going to hostile territory in Seattle and all that. You're going to come away with a loss probably. Ask the Patriots. Adrian Peterson is a key here for the Vikings to have any hopes of winning because I don't know if Ponder can get on a groove. I mean, remember, they had a lot of turnovers in their game against the Buccaneers. So it'll be a question and wonder what will occur in that game. But Seahawks at home, it's hard to go against them. They play very well at home. And I mean, this really shouldn't be considered an upset pick because really both teams are starting to fall out of playoff contention. Well, actually, no, the Vikings are still in playoff contention. I should say the Seahawks. But I think the Seahawks are going to come away with a win here. I think the Vikings are going to lose another one here, especially on the road, especially when you go up in a hostile place in Seattle. I mean, that's a hard place to play. Seattle's offense, I mean, if they can get the crowd, if they can at least get on a groove here, they're probably going to end up winning this game. For the Vikings, the key really is Adrian Peterson. If you give him the ball, and he's going to tear apart that Seattle Seahawks defense, but for some reason, I sense an upset here. This game, I'm going to pick as an upset. I'm going to go with the Seahawks over the Vikings here. The Vikings were a little bit shaken up from last week's loss to the Buccaneers, so this game would not surprise me if the Seahawks win. So that's it, everybody. There really isn't much this week as far as what games to watch, so this video is going to be your detail. as I write in my blog to get all of my Week 9 picks in, this is going to be your detail, this video here. So other than that, enjoy your football Sunday, everybody, and I will see you next week for my Week 10 4 key game picks. Until then, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.